Back in July 2022, I decided it was time to upgrade my drone. Had some awesome travels on the horizon, and there was a couple of shots that were definitely for the drone. I was previously shooting with the Mavic Air. I've had some great times with it. It was the perfect kind of drone for me, really good size and build for what I needed as a travel photographer, but I was just noticing that I wasn't so happy with the quality of the images that were coming out of it, and I wasn't really enjoying editing them or showcasing them because they weren't quite up to my pixel peeping standards. So DJI released the Mavic Mini 3 Pro, and it really caught my attention. It was that small form factor that I really liked for my original drone, but with a much higher quality specs. So I went for it, I bought it, and I was ready for my travels. In this video, I wanted to share with you the footage that I captured so you can see what kind of quality you can get out of it, the pros and the cons, and what it was like to travel with. So without further ado, let me get into it. If you do enjoy the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content like this. There's going to be a lot more photo travel related stuff coming in 2023. Straight in with the pros. In at number one, size, weight and portability. Nails it on all counts. I was able to put it in my backpack. I was able to fly with it, chuck it in cars, hike with it with no real problems at all. I didn't even notice it was in there. It went in there with my camera, with lenses, with tech, with laptops. And to be honest, I wouldn't have considered not putting it in there because of its weight or size. It just went in and it came everywhere with me this year. And as a result, I was able to get some absolutely epic shots, both on photo specific trips where I don't mind carrying a little bit more gear with me, but also on those trips where I was with friends and family and perhaps just carrying like a sling bag. I was able to put both a camera with a lens and the drone in it. Pretty amazing. So from that point of view, top points from DJI. In at number two, I really enjoyed being able to shoot in vertical mode. Not for everyone, but I share a lot of my stuff on Instagram, and being able to compose in the drone in vertical format was really, really helpful. Obviously you can shoot in landscape mode and then crop it, but being able to visualize it really helped me to get the shot that I really, really wanted. Also, because I'm impatient and I got a bit excited in some of these amazing locations, I was then able to download it straight to my phone through the app and ping it straight up onto my Instagram. You can check me out on Instagram here, cheeky little plug, where I share a lot of this kind of content, and you can put it straight onto your stories. Number three, might seem a bit of a funny one. It's a little bit of a geeky tech nerd one, but this was invaluable on my first trip with this drone in Germany, the one where I wanted the bucket list shot. I had to go on that trip with only one battery because I hadn't got time to get the DJI Fly More combo. It didn't come in time for that trip. So I was left in a little bit of a precarious position with just one battery. However, unlike in the past, I was able to charge up directly through a USB-C. Previously, you needed a specific charger with it, which in all honesty, I went on one trip and forgot the whole charger. So that ruled me out. All I had was the batteries I went with, and once they were dead, they were dead. So A, this adds a lot more versatility to the situation, but B, I was able to fly, do my thing, get my shot, bring the drone down, pop an external battery pack on the drone through USB-C, either put it in my backpack or leave it in the car until we got to the next location, and boom, it was ready to go for the next flight. I personally didn't feel like I missed a single shot as a result of not having any batteries. Maybe I'm not a massively heavy user in terms of flying for a long time. I usually know what shot I want and I'll go out and get it. However, I found that to be absolutely amazing, and it really, really saved my bacon when I didn't have those shots, and I got my shot. I got the shot that I wanted of that Disney castle, which is the one that I went for in Germany. I'll overlay it here because I've waited too long to share it now. Next up, incognito mode. This drone sometimes had to be used in rather stealth situations, such as for that castle. It's small, it's light, and it doesn't make much noise. My friend that I went with took a DJI Mavic Pro, awesome drone, brilliant quality stuff, and much, much more stable and heavy. However, it makes a huge amount of noise when it's taken off and in the sky, and it's really, really obvious. This is sleek and you can pop it up really quickly without drawing too much attention to yourself or the drone and you can get that shot you want. We actually ended up using this drone for a few shots where we felt it wasn't quite appropriate to put the bigger drone up. So if you're flying in places where you just want to get that shot done quickly and under the radar a little bit, this will be the drone for that. Next up is image quality. As I mentioned at the beginning, this was a really important factor in why I was upgrading the drone, and for the form factor and size that it still was compared to my old drone, I was really impressed with the quality in both photo and video. I like to edit, I like to boost shadows and fill about with highlights and colours, and I felt that I was really able to edit the photos how I wanted and manipulate colours as much as I really wanted to. Obviously, not as amazing as my full frame Sony in terms of dynamic range, but I shot at low light a lot. I shot at sunrise, sunset, as you probably will want to if you're a photographer. Those are the best times of day often to shoot. And I really had no major issues in pushing those sliders in terms of what I wanted to get out of them. Obviously, I couldn't max them out, but pretty much really happy with the quality as well with the video. I thought for the package that you're getting here, you'd be really happy. Obviously, if you get a bigger drone with a bigger sensor, you're going to get more out of it, but I think it's a great compromise. And the last pro is that it does fall within the weight category of not needing to have any kind of licenses or permissions. So it is 249 grams with the original batteries. If you buy the bigger batteries, you go over that. So I've stuck with these. As I said, I got enough battery life out of them for my needs, and you can basically not have to register it or anything, and it's just much easier. It takes a load of faff out of the equation, and you can fly pretty freely. On to the cons. There are a few. Firstly, going back to my earlier point, which was a positive of it being stealth and flying in incognito mode, this sometimes causes a little bit of a problem when flying it in grey skies, because it is a grey colour and it's quite small, really easy to lose. Obviously, you can use the app and the map, which I rely on heavily to find the drone if you lose it, but I was having to have a second viewer to just try and keep an eye on it because it was so easy to lose sight of, and that slightly freaks me out because I'm not that ballsy when it comes to flying drones, and I do like to know where it is. So it is a little bit easy to lose, but again, on the flip side, you get the positive that it's a bit stealth. Number two, and not something I actually had to use, but I could see it being a slight problem, is the props. If you need to change the props on this drone, you need a screwdriver, which they do provide in the pack, but it's just another thing to remember. So if you forgot it and you needed to change a prop, I'm not sure, maybe you could improvise, but you can't just click them in anymore. My previous drone, the props just clicked on and off, so you do need to make sure to remember to bring this. And lastly, on the con side, something you might expect is that I think because this drone is so small and so light, just like a toy, if there was bad weather, if you had high winds or particularly cold or warm conditions, I think you would notice its limitations. And I mean, I knew that buying this drone, and it wasn't really why I bought it, and it's a compromise I'm willing to take for all of the other pros. But, you know, if you had high winds, I wouldn't have great confidence in putting it out a long way in case you couldn't get it back again. My friend who had her Mavic Pro was definitely able to push it a little bit further with a bit more confidence, knowing that she would be able to send it back pretty quickly. Even if she had to put it in sport mode, she would be able to get it back before the battery died. I definitely didn't feel that. I don't like pushing it that much in terms of distance anyway, because it makes me nervous, and I'm a bit of a wuss when it comes to it, and I always want to get my drone back and the SD card. But it's just something to consider in terms of what kind of conditions you're going to fly in. You will be a little bit more limited with a smaller drone, but I think that's pretty obvious. On the whole, super happy with my upgrade. I never once considered not putting it in my camera bag. I always took it with me on all of my trips, and as a result, I got some photos and some video clips that I was really happy with, that maybe I wouldn't have otherwise got if I hadn't had the quality and the portability of this drone. I think the combination of those two things, they've hit really nicely, and it's the perfect travel companion, and it will be coming with me on many more trips this year. So if you're looking for a drone to travel with, I couldn't recommend this one enough. Maybe they'll come out with something else, or maybe there's another drone that fits your needs better, but I hope you found some of the pros and cons useful in making a choice if you're going to buy a drone. And happy drone flying is an awesome way to capture photos and just, you know, expand the creativity of your photo portfolio or video indeed, and just a really unique way to see different things. So happy 2022. There'll be more videos coming, and certainly, hopefully, some more drone flying soon. And I will look forward to seeing you in the next video. And I don't know how I forgot this one. One major downside to this drone is this controller. It is absolutely massive and a serious weight. It's way heavier than the drone. It's bigger than the drone. Come on, DJI, what are you going to do about this controller? Except it's a nice controller to hold. I didn't get the smart controller. I just got the normal one, which you can put your phone on. But it's huge. And this is the thing that I always struggle to fit in my bag more than the drone. So just beware of that. Big controller.